Pro-Palestinian rallies outside the Israeli embassy and Downing Street in London. Thousands gathered, with some people saying they didn't feel safe among the crowds. There are fears among some that tension in the Middle East could spill over to the UK, with people in the Jewish and Muslim communities conveying a sense of vulnerability. Today, 3 Jewish schools were closed over fears of safety, with one of the head teachers saying he couldn't protect against a lone wolf attack.
It's worth reminding ourselves that even before this happened, if your place of worship is a synagogue, if your place of education is a Jewish school, you already require increased security. So it's important to understand how serious concerns may be for them to close the schools.
And several Muslim women have also told us they feel unprotected and are being subjected to name-calling and prejudice. A woman who wouldn't go on camera said she was called a terrorist outside her local supermarket. In Hackney in northeast London, a woman of Muslim faith conveyed her frustration at the conflict, saying she lives peacefully with her Jewish neighbours.
The media portrays just the one side, and then but whereas, there's 2 sides to the story, one hand can't clap, right? Like, if you see around here, Stamford Hill, Muslims and Jews were living together peacefully, and we have no fights, and I actually prefer this neighbourhood to any other neighbourhood. I feel at peace living with the Jews.
One British rabbi who works with the police to combat hate crime says it's important to convey unity at this time.
Everyone is in shock. Everyone feels personally wounded by the events that we have witnessed in the Middle East. Everyone is disgusted. And we all, that's Jews and Muslims, Muslims and Jews, stand shoulder and shoulder together. And that has been reiterated time and again by my Muslim interlocutors, that we stand shoulder and shoulder together in making sure that these types of behavior will not be replicated and will not continue.
Over the weekend, more protests are scheduled to take place, with the police on heightened alert.
We're acutely aware of real emotion, real fear across many communities in London. We've seen a significant increase in anti-Semitic hate crime and hate incidents. We've seen an increase in Islamophobic incidents, not to the same extent, but that is reflective of what is happening in communities. We've got a significant community policing operation in place with over 1,000 officers.
Tonight we stand for humanity and an end to the death, violence, fear and suffering.
At Wembley tonight, there was a moment of silence for the deaths of innocents on both sides of the conflict. The FA decided on a neutral approach and refused to light up the Wembley Arch in Israeli colours. That's in contrast to Downing Street's approach and different to what the FA did at Wembley after the invasion of Ukraine. Although the war is thousands of miles away, its ties to the UK are strong, with people here understandably feeling deeply affected by what's happening.